Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing just a short and sweet full body flow, so find some space to move and let's get started. So we are going to begin today in tabletop, so we can come over onto our hands and knees. And you might start with just a sway of your hips side to side. Kind of spread your fingers, plant your palms, and maybe just move your hips. And then we might move our shoulders. So the shoulders might kind of start to move with the hips. And this might turn into a bit bigger of a movement. Might begin as kind of a half circle kind of shape. It might turn into a full circle where your entire upper body, well, from your hips to your shoulders, is moving, is making that circle shape around the wrists, around the knees. Now switch directions if you're going for that full-ish kind of circle. Feel your palms against the ground. Feel the shoulder, the hips. And then slow it down. Find center. Readjust if you need to, but tuck your toes under. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lift your knees up and into downward facing dog. You might regrip your hands, but we're going to start to pedal the feet. So as you bend your right knee and lift that heel, I want you to kind of dip your hip to the right too. And then just switch sides. Left leg bends, left hip dips. And you can kind of get the hips involved. The shoulders might be moving a little bit too, a little kind of bob up and down as you push into your hands and just start to warm up your legs, your hips. Now let's come back through center and take an inhale to look forwards. As you exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Once you get there, take an inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, take another half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, one more half lift. And as you exhale, fold and pause in your forward fold. You might let your arms dangle or hold your elbows. You might add a little bit of a sway, side to side or forwards and back, kind of with the hips, kind of shifting the weight throughout the feet. Now, if it feels good to do so, if your hands are close to the ground, you can definitely plant your hands on the ground. But we are just going to try to bend our left knee and lift the heel a little bit to come towards the chest. And then we're going to drop that heel and straighten that leg a little bit more and switch. That right foot's going to lift, or the heel, bending the knee to the chest, and then you're just going to kind of walk in one place as you are folding forwards, and you can just switch sides and switch sides. And let your upper body hang heavy, but it might be moving, kind of bobbing up and down a little bit. And maybe you'll take one more step with each foot. And then once you've got both feet on the ground and maybe you're still holding your elbows, release your hands to the ground now. And then bend the knees more and take an inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, take another half lift. Exhale, come on down. One more. Inhale into your half lift. And exhale to fold. Plant your hands. Take your feet back into your downward facing dog. Press the ground away. Send your hips as high as they can be. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees down to your mat. Widen your knees. Bring your big toes together. See if you can take a seat back on the heels. Maybe you're leaning forward, some weight in the hands. Maybe you are sitting all the way back. You might rest your hands on top of your legs. But just lengthen your spine, let your shoulders fall away from your ears. You can stay here. You might even try to tip back, lean back, maybe floating the knees. Now, just notice the ankles, the feet. You can hold it here. You can kind of tip forwards and tip back a few times if it feels good on your knees, your legs, and you're still breathing. The next time, though, that you do come forwards, or if your knees are lifted, just bring them down. Bring the hands to the ground too. Bring your knees back into your tabletop. Maybe give the ankles a little bit of a shake. Maybe even a little tap of the toes on the ground. Now we are going to scooch the knees together though. So if you would like to tuck your toes under for a lovely toe squat, we are going to keep leaning forwards. So if you can bring the hands just a little bit closer, you can be on the fingers or you can be flat on your palms. But as you push into them a little to send the hips back towards your heels, hopefully you're stretching your toes. Now you can keep your knees on the ground once again, or you can push and try to float them and maybe drop them down. And float the knees and maybe drop them down. And you can kind of decide where your hands are. You might bring them a little bit closer and maybe you can lift the knees a little bit higher and slowly bring them down. And just see what happens should you choose to want to lift your knees, or see if your body will allow you to lift your knees. And then the next time you do come down, stay there and come off of the feet. Untuck the toes, maybe smack the toes against the ground a little, or give the ankles a little bit of a shake. But then tuck the toes back under and lift your knees into your downward facing dog. Quick pedal through the feet if you want to. Maybe getting the hips swaying as well while we're here. A nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now let an inhale, bring your gaze forwards, and exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Now we're going to pause in our forward fold again. You could hold the elbows or let the arms dangle. Our left heel is going to float though. The knee's going to bend towards the chest. Maybe your hands can hold the back of the leg or actually slide underneath that leg to give it a hug. Folding forward. Now, we're going to be bringing that left knee or that left heel down again. So take your arms out and switch sides. Pop the right heel, maybe give the leg a hug and let go and switch. Some concentration, maybe some balance, maybe as you switch from side to side. And maybe you're moving your arms a little bit more. But all the while, can you still let your upper body hang heavy? Still folding forwards. Awesome, you guys. Let the feet come flat. Take an inhale to lift halfway up. And exhale to fold forwards. Plant your hands. Take your feet back and into downward facing dog. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees down to your tabletop, and then we're going to widen our knees again. Second chance. Big toes together, nice wide knees. Feel free to lean forwards the whole time or sit back, or maybe you're going to float the knees. You can have the hands behind you. You can hold it, or you can try to lower and lift and kind of rocking on the tops of the feet, stretching the ankles. And then the next time you come down, stay down, bring your hands to the ground and bring your knees back together. Maybe a shake of the ankles. Okay, scooch the knees together, tuck the toes if you'd like, find your toe squat. Now from here, you can decide what your hands are going to do, how close they're going to be to your knees. Are your knees going to lift? Are they going to lower? Maybe not. So you might work your hands a little bit closer. A little bit closer. So that perhaps, maybe, you don't need your hands once your knees have lifted, and you can lengthen your spine a bit more, lift the shoulders a bit more, maybe even look forwards, balancing on the balls of the feet, the toes, concentration, balance, forgetting all about our day along the way, and then just let it go. Bring your hands down. Bring your knees down. Come back to your tabletop. If the ankles want to shake, give them a nice shake. Awesome work, you guys. We're going to sit down so you can bring your legs out in front of you. Both of them, maybe out long, or you can have a bend through the knees, but a nice long spine. We're going to fold forwards. You can sway a little bit side to side if you'd like, but we're going to sit tall and then fold forwards. So if you want to bend the knees, you might wrap your arms around the legs. Then maybe scooch the feet further and further and further away. And then maybe your arms are stopping you from going a little further, but maybe they're keeping things nice and snug. Little point of the toes up if you'd like. And open up through the low back. And feel the length through the leg. Awesome work, you guys. Take another breath. And then unwrap the legs if you are holding onto them with your arms. Start to lift back up. You can bend the knees even more towards the chest. Give them a hug. Maybe a couple extra rock or sway side to side. And then we're going to lay down on our backs. You can slowly lower. Maybe bring your knees to your chest. Couple extra rock or sway side to side. But feel your back against the ground. Relax your toes, relax your ankle. And eventually just bringing your feet back down to the ground. And maybe letting your knees fall out wide into a diamond shape. Give your hips a chance to open up. As you continue to relax your toes, ankle, and feel the ground beneath you. You might keep your legs here or start to extend them out long. Finding Shavasana and staying here for as long as you have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.